Hello, hello, and welcome to another Volume 1 One Piece chapter review and discussion. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic... What's today? Sunday. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. It's just me today. Megan is feeling a bit under the weather, so you're stuck with just me.
Bro, lost for real.
Today we're going to be talking about chapters 1148 as well as 1149. I'm incredibly excited to talk about the latter because your boy is rarely right about anything. Hence this gigantic leather-bound tome of L's that stands before me. However, today, this might as well be a book of W's. Because if you'll go on a little journey with me, allow me to just flip through here for 1 second. Sorry, a lot of blank pages. Haven't really filled up a lot of it. This is an entry from the last stream we did. A stream that, if I remember correctly, and I have to go back and look, people were giving me quite a bit of shit about. Because I had speculated and theorized in that stream the following. And I'm going to read it verbatim as it's written. Gunko isn't just a fan of the Soul King. There's a deeper connection between the two of them. The two of them knew each other before his death, when he was still a human. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I have to go back and look at the last chapter because people were doubting me. People were saying that I was on something, that I was wrong, another L for Josh, yet here we are. And I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. All jokes aside, though, these were two incredible chapters. Both of them were great. And it is funny, and I'm not going to talk about it too long because I don't want to necessarily feed into the same thing that everybody else is saying. But it is still kind of funny to me, I have to be honest, that as much as everybody thought this was going to be Usopp's arc, at least right now, it seems to be giving a lot of time and a lot of shine to a lot of the other characters, a lot of the other Straw Hats, and I couldn't personally be happier about that. The fact that we're potentially going to be getting some really, really important, really, really deep Brook lore is really cool. Robin had an incredibly badass moment at the end of the last chapter, and then that continuing into these chapters. Jinbei had an awesome moment before that too. And Chopper, even Chopper is the one who is chasing down Scopper to try to find out why or how he's able to hurt these God Knights without them regenerating. Everybody's doing something. Everybody's got a job. Everyone's got a mission, except for Usopp, and it is the way it is. And I'm not praying for anybody's downfall, but at the same time, even Frankie's had some really awesome moments, some really, really awesome moments in this arc so far. So it's just, I don't know. It's just really cool to get to see other Straw Hats take the center stage and handle business. You know what I mean? So that was really cool this week too. Josh W. so rare. Wash the first time, bro. It was so funny because I remember everybody was like, "Bro, you're tripping. You're on crack. There's no way that this is going to be the case. It doesn't add up. The timelines. It's not possible." And you can catch me going from super confident, and this is typically how it goes on these streams. You can catch me going from super confident to doubting myself by the end. And I think even by when I first had that feeling, I was like, no, this is 100% a fact. And then when I went to actually go write it down, I was like, I'm just writing this down because like at this point, I'm pretty sure it's wrong. I'm pretty sure it's bullshit, but it's the Book of Elves for a reason. And I'm just not going to doubt myself anymore. It's not going to happen. But yeah, I want to catch up on a super chat before we jump right in. This is from Beans. Shout out Beans, who says, can't be here today. Neither can Megan. Maybe Beans and Megan are off, going to a One Piece cafe together. And they just didn't invite me. But oh my God, Gunko teases, were we actually cooking about her being brainwashed? Also, Megan ready to see Chopper on the 30th. Tadum is happening on is it the 30th or either way, Tadum is happening. And so obviously we're going to be getting a season 2 trailer, and we're going to be getting our first look at Chopper. So we're going to be talking about that and streaming that like as it happens, if not like right after it happens, depending on my work schedule. But like every time I talk to Megan about Tadum and this new trailer and Chopper, like she gets like visibly panicked about it. I would expect her to be excited, but I think because she cares about Chopper so much and she loves Chopper so much, she's genuinely like terrified. Not that she thinks that they're not going to do a good job, but like, I don't know, man. Like it could be, anything could happen, anything could happen. It could go either way. And again, that's not to say that I don't think that she's really optimistic about it, but because she cares about this character so much, and it is her favorite Straw Hat, like she wants them to get him exactly right. Because this is going to be the Chopper, like the version of Chopper that we see a lot. once the show starts premiering, he's going to probably be in a lot of the marketing and on a lot of the posters, and there's probably going to be even merch and stuffed animals. And so, yeah, she's excited. She is excited. But also scared at the same time. We've been watching this show called The Studio. Very, very short tangent. It's a Seth Rogen show on Apple. It's about him being a studio head, and every episode is how he views himself as a studio head who like really cares about film, really cares about movies, but how him being there like interferes and can derail like everything, and how too many people in a room like arguing about something can end up obviously ruining something. But it's just interesting because we always talk about how like studio execs or like suits who don't understand like character or don't understand like whatever story is trying to be told, like how they can ruin something. But this show like gives you that in a very like chaotic way and shows you how it's not just that, but it's like so many moving parts, and this person's telling you to do this, but this person's telling you to do that, and that person is like on you for something else, and so you're trying to like tell this person. It's very like it makes you feel very anxious while you watch it. But I don't know. That's how I imagine certain things happening and why certain things end up being like not great. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's see. Do I have my screen set up? All right, we're going to go through it very, very quickly. I tried to fix the mic and the way it sounds too, the lav. I just didn't want to, with Megan not being here, I don't know, dude. Whatever. I just wanted to try something different. I wanted to be a little bit more free today, so hopefully the audio is okay. After Verm said that it sounded like we were at the bottom of an ocean the last time, I tried to tweak some of the EQ, so hopefully it sounds at least a bit better. Okay. Let me see. What 48. We're going to jump right in. We're going to go through beat by beat. Obviously, we're not going to show everything. 1148. Ranja's she's dangling off the edge of a cliff. This was pretty dark, actually. This had me pretty fucked up. I was scared. I was touched at like some of the wording of this chapter. It just like hit extra hard because they're not only trying to, I think, Somer says it at some point later in the chapter, like they're not only trying to take away like their knowledge, but they're also trying to like take away their culture. Like I think someone else, another giant in the chapter, it's either this chapter or the next chapter, like talks about how, you know, Elbaf is really at a turning point. Like this is a moment where like they should be standing up to the government, but it's not that easy because at this point in time, it's at the risk of like losing a child. It's just interesting how they really want to erase history. Yes, of course, like we know that the void century, but also in doing that, like they're stripping Elbaf, the giants, of their culture. And I don't know, dude. I just feel like a lot of the lines in this chapter specifically like hit really, really hard. Especially just seeing this cute ass girl sacrificing herself for knowledge. What? That was absolutely insane. Then we kind of cut to Robin having an incredible moment. This was like a Robin chapter through and through. It was Ronja and Robin. Scopper gets the next one. Robin is thinking very analytically. She's thinking very like smart. She's realizing that she has to like get a better understanding of the abilities so she can understand like how to take them down. But at a certain point, like her blood just begins to boil to see again, like not only the knowledge of O'Hara, like be threatened. It's like being threatened to be destroyed again. But this poor girl, seeing this poor girl on the edge of the cliff amidst all of it, I'm sure it's very triggering to her. So she goes off. I mean, she jumps right in, bro. And she takes this man out. This was such an incredible Robin moment. This was definitely a highlight of the chapter for me. Just seeing her kind of go right in and then very strategically like throw this man and herself off the edge of the cliff. Like I just see it animated. You know, I hear the like she's fucking like running after this man and she grabs him and she throws herself off. Like what a like an incredibly badass, like heroic moment. That's what I mean about the Straw Hats, like getting like really, 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 really cool moments in these. I think it's been like the last like 4 chapters. Someone said that they're gonna inevitably Oda is gonna cut back to Luffy and Zoro and Loki because he left us on such a huge cliffhanger at the end of 1149. But that would be fucking diabolical, bro. Absolutely diabolical. Because I really did feel like, and I know I'm all over the place, but Megan's not here to rein me in, so you have to forgive me. I felt like, I've said it before, Elbaf has been an incredible arc so far, but I have found myself looking back like more fondly every day on Egghead, and especially with the anime being out and everything too, which I don't think is like made me more biased necessarily, but I do look back on Egghead like very fondly. And the way that I remember feeling during certain moments of that arc, like I haven't necessarily felt like the same level of like intensity, stakes to a degree in Elbaf as I did Egghead. But by the end of 1149, like that moment with Eam essentially like remotely controlling Gunko, that to me was that step up that I felt like personally, like I needed to really like be in it as much as I was before. And that's, again, not to like beat a dead horse or repeat things I've already said, but personally, I felt like, you know, we went from Egghead, the arrival of at first one Gorosei, then literally all the fucking Gorosei show up on this island and we get to see them in their like true forms or these other forms that they have. Absolutely crazy. Something that really made you feel like you were in the final saga. This really is the end game. How the fuck are they going to get out of this shit? Then we go from that to God Knights, which in like the hierarchy, like the pyramid, the God Knights would be just like a step below. So it felt like, okay, well, we're going from really incredibly powerful being shrouded in mystery to God Knights, like another team of like baddies, I guess. And not to say that they're not like incredibly powerful or interesting, especially with like Vigarland Garling and his connection to like Shamrock and Shanks and all of that. But it just felt like kind of like a step down when Eam channels themselves through Gunko. That felt like, okay, because to me, you can't like that's without like Eam physically being there themselves, like you can't. The stakes can't get much higher than like them channeling themselves. Like absolutely insane, fucking crazy to see. I have no idea what that even means. Like what like they're going to be able to do, and we'll talk more about it as we get there and we see exactly like what Eam said, because there was like a line there that something about a god, but we'll get there. Anyway, Robin, badass, heroic moment, throwing herself off a cliff because she's trying to get Summers. She's trying to get him out of range so his devil fruit won't have any effect on the kids. Him stabbing her for her to only be like for it to be like like an unreal version of her, a copy of her. Chef's kiss, dude. Like I'm telling you, like Robin is on some fucking gangster boss ass bitch shit right now. Then we have our sweet moment from I'm gonna keep calling her Ranja. What an ugly name. I'm just kidding. So that was a slip. What if I'm saying it wrong? You know, that could be very true. But yeah, she's talking about history. She's talking about being lucky. You know, we get the classic like fucking snot, tears in her eyes, smile. I'm a lucky girl. I bet everything will be fine. And as all this is happening, Ja Rule gives the order to burn down the library, and Scopper comes in to chop off Somer's arm, hand, whatever. And we learn that it's not growing back. Just wanted to get through and catch up on chapter 1148 before we spend most of our time in the next chapter. Again, incredible fucking chapter. And I actually like it's been for like a scheduling reason that we've had to talk about these chapters like every two at a time. But I just kind of also feel like from a because we don't have to cover them week to week. We wait to read them too, so that they're fresh in our minds, and we'll usually read them like a day before, so that we can kind of like, you know, process a bit like what's happening. Maybe look at some other places online and kind of see what some other people are saying. But it's also just like kind of like reading better. I feel like having those two chapters, it's been a better read, because if we would have just left off at this point, it would have been, okay, really cool, badass Robin moment, but to get to go in and continue and see like, everything that happens in the next chapter, awesome. Absolutely awesome. This was where was it? This was a picture I kept seeing floating around, it is funny. Like, I know that there are so many people that are probably sick and tired of hearing this, but to me, it's so funny. This ain't your arc, bro.
Bruh.
All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes. The real shit right here. First of all, beautiful cover page that we get this week. It's cool to see York it's Lilith in there too. It's cool to see Bonnie there, Robin, my queen, dude. I'm sorry, everybody's focused on like, Nami gets front and center all the time. Even fucking Lilith gets like more front and center than Robin, but she's quietly like she has nothing to prove to anybody. She's like quietly existing and like just doing her and being her, and like she doesn't need to be front and center, and she's still, in my eyes and my heart, is front and center. Damn. Anyway, I love Robin. I love Robin probably maybe more than, I mean, definitely more than Nami. I mean, come at me. I'm sorry. I know that there are people in the community. Beans, I know it's a huge Nami fan. Stan, but like, come on, dude. She's just the best. Okay, I also want to talk a little bit about like Scopper and how he's able to do all of the stuff that he's able to do. At the same time, like we do find out there's an incredible panel in this chapter where he sort of slices Summers in half. It looks like even in that moment, I was like, oh, bro, Summers is 100% dead, KO'd. There's absolutely no coming back from that. But then we see at the very end of the chapter that he still is somehow alive. So there's clearly something happening here. Either these beings are the God Knights were at some point human, and you would think that the elders would then at some point have been human as well. We haven't seen them have like the God Knights have any other forms necessarily outside of like being incredibly strong and capable fighters, but the Gorsei themselves seem to be like otherworldly. The God Knights are definitely, well, I guess outside of Killingham. Killingham is potentially some kind of fucking crazy awakened zone fucking dragon. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, they're obviously humans that were granted some kind of power that, I mean, they would have to at some, I mean, I guess they're not immortal in the same way that like the Gorsei are immortal, because what's his name was younger in the flashback. See, Garland was younger than he is now. So they do age. The Gorosei are the ones that don't age. So it's not like they're immortal in the sense that they don't age, but they just can't be killed. And I don't think that that's like exclusive to Summers Devil Fruit. I think that they've been granted some kind of power through Eam that allows them to just live, to not be able to be killed. Like, it's going to be a situation where potentially, I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out what Scopper has to say about the level of hockey, the type of hockey, whatever that he's using to stop them from regenerating. But at the same time, I feel like it might be a situation where the only way they're going to be able to take out the elders and to take out the God Knights are by taking out Eam first. I mean, I know that kind of throws a lot of things, like it kind of throws a wrench into Final War plans and like how things are going to end up playing out. But I really do think it could be a situation where they have to go for Eam first. And I don't know. I mean, we've talked about it before, but it could be a situation where also going for Eam could instantly kill, let's say, like the Gorsei. Like, if the Gorsei if they are humans that were granted some sort of power, one of those things being like immortality, then killing Eam could rapidly age them and instantaneously kill them, turn them to dust. And I don't know if it would do the same thing for the God Knights. I don't know. It just seems like even with this type of hockey that Scopper is using, like, it allows them to stop regenerating, but it still doesn't kill them. So there has to be something. There has to be something that can kill them. Anyway, I know I talked my shit about Scopper too, but he was actually pretty fucking awesome in this chapter. It's just funny, man. It's just funny. Like, the more we get to see of Roger's crew, I really do, because I really did feel like Ray Lee was just like that guy, and that he was so much cooler than Scopper. Like, Scopper didn't even come close. But after this chapter, I don't know. It's pretty even now. He did win me over. We finally got outside of Kuma, we finally got a real dad. You know what I mean? Somebody who actually cares about their son. And that was an incredibly emotional moment. Like, Oda did such a good job of showing just like the fear in Scopper. Incredible moment. Anyway, okay, crazy. So okay, he jumps through, slices this man at the chest in half with his axe symphony. I thought, first of all, the only reason I thought, okay, outside of Oda being like, Oda and One Piece being notorious for, you know, people not dying, whatever. The only reason I thought that like seeing this didn't mean that he was actually dead was because I was like, they can't, like, if this is like a death blow, it just seemed like a crazy way to depict it. You know what I mean? In like Shonen Jump magazine. Does that make sense? I was like, the only reason they can show this, the only way they can show this is if this guy is actually not dead. Because it was fucking, this shit is fucking crazy. Absolutely insane. Really, really cool moment that we see, obviously, the librarian setting the library on fire. And Chopper in the corner running off to go see and learn how Scopper was able to do that. Again, you know, it's no shade to anybody, but dude, this is to me all I have wanted. Like, even if there's a couple more chapters of this, and then we go back to Luffy and we go back to Zoro and we go back to Sanji, like, whatever, fine. Like, I just need more of these moments sprinkled throughout. I'm sorry. You know, as the story goes on, like, and especially as like we're not, you know, as in it as we were before, and we kind of come back to things, like I find my like feelings about it, my perspective on it, like a little bit different. Like I really like don't care, you know, for Sanji that much, like as a character. Like even Zoro is like really, really cool, but like I find these other Straw Hats like so much more interesting. And just personally, I enjoy them as characters like more. Honestly, like more than even Zoro, like more than, and I know that's an unpopular opinion, and you know, that's not to say that like I don't like Zoro, I do, but I just feel like we get so much Zoro, so much Sanji that I'm like, I don't like, there's nothing more. Like I really don't need anything else from them. Like I'm fucking starving for a fucking Frankie panel. I'm starving for a Jinbei panel. I'm starving for fucking Chopper. Chopper hasn't done anything. And it's not because he's not a capable character. It's because like, he just hasn't been like given anything to do from a story, like perspective. And so the fact that he has like something to do here and he's like taking the initiative, you know what I'm saying? Like he's going out of his way, and like Oda's actually giving him like a task it's literally like the bare fucking minimum. It's the bare minimum. And that's why these last couple of chapters have been so awesome. So awesome to see Robin pop off the way she popped off, to have like Brook talk about like his honor, and now we're getting this Brook lore, like Frankie getting the mural, spending his time with Ripley, Jinbei having that crazy moment. Like I know I keep repeating it, but it's because like we were in a fucking drought. We were in an absolute drought. So yeah, I really hope this ends up being a thing, and who knows, right? Like whatever. This could kind of be it. Like maybe Chopper will be the one to like initiate it, but then somebody else will kind of like, I don't know, take over that like mission for him, and it'll kind of like Chopper will fall to the back again. And if that happens, whatever, but at least we're getting this, you know? And I just like that he has something to do, and I hope that he does like stay on that, whatever, either way. Uncreative deconstructionism. Whoa, shout out with a super chat. 2 super chats. Oh, actually, are they the same super chat? Either way, shout out Uncreative Deconstruction. Hello, I love your stuff. Well, when will you read JoJo Lands? Apologize for derailing you. Appreciate you guys. First of all, thank you so much for the donation. And JoJo Lands is actually something I want to get back to soon. It's all the way over there. I can walk all the way over there. You know what? I can leave this up because I have this mic on now, and you guys can still hear me. So I'm gonna walk all the way to the other room. I think the range on this mic should be pretty good, actually. You just speaking of JoJo, this I know it's derailing the live, but hey, we talk about all kinds of anime and manga over here on Volume 1. I got this finally. Steel Ball Run. It's the finally they released the English version, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. I fucking love it. I wanted to bring that out because it's like it really has put me back in a JoJo mood. And with the anime announcement and everything, I'm really I don't know. I'm lit on JoJo. I'm back in. I'm really wanting to jump into JoJo Lands again. I'll talk to Megan about it. I mean, we don't have any concrete plans, but I'll definitely talk to Megan about it, and we'll see. And we'll see if we can kind of move that up and do it sooner, or at least like get it on the calendar, get it on like the schedule, because I know we've both been wanting to read it. Losh hates Nami. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm just like, my heart skipped a beat when Robin got stabbed by thorns. Mine too. I mean, I was like, dude, is she like? I knew she's not gonna die, but I was like, what's gonna happen? Look, man, I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of harsh, but I don't know. I guess I don't know, man. I just like personally, and maybe it's because like when you're also like so in it, a lot of the discourse that tends to happen like online or in the community like is about like Zoro versus Sanji and Sanji versus Zoro, and then like Toei, oh my god, the fucking Toei disrespect against Sanji, like can you believe they're doing this to my fucking king? And then like people are making videos about like why Sanji is like not actually a pervert and why he's like a really complex and emotionally deep character, and like how like, and it's like people take it, it's like, bro, you guys know there are other fucking characters in this damn story, right? And sometimes I wonder if Oda even knows that. Now he's my king, okay, and I'm just an emotional person, but yeah, dude, I just get so fatigued. I love Nami, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I love Nami anywhere near as much as I love Robin. I think again, Nami has an incredible backstory. She's like, I love what she brings to the team. She serves in a very important like purpose as a navigator. Like her banter with Luffy is great. Her banter with everybody is great. Like her like attachment to like Kid, like everything about her, like I really enjoy. But I just like gravitate more towards like Robin, who I mean, I just like find her more compelling. That's not that, but that's personal. Like I acknowledge that both of them are great characters, but bro, I love Robin. I love Robin. I think even her humor, like being like super like weird. I love like, again, her devil fruit. I fucking love, like if you even want to look at it on that level. I just she's one of my favorite Straw Hats for sure. But yeah. Anyway, Robin watching the library burn is sick. Don't do that to her. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure she was triggered. You know, she was like, oh, we got to figure out what Somer's ability is. We gotta know it before we fight it. And then she sees this little girl, probably gives her fucking flashbacks. She sees this little girl standing on the edge of a cliff, you know, library being burned down again, the knowledge of her people being burned down again. So she goes into a fucking rage, throws herself off the edge, but she was smart about it. She was always a million steps ahead. Anyway, let me cut away. We see Ja Rule like really struggling here as well. The moment where like Scopper was like, okay, Colin, don't say anything. And then he's like, you know, hey, everybody, like, that's my dad. That was pretty funny. And then it just gets like super fucking dark, bro. I mean, even like the dialogue here is so good, man. This is my final chance. There's still time to put out the fire in the library. I can save the children and Elbaf in the process as long as it's instant. Like almost like this man, like he can fucking, he's about to break the sound barrier and just make all this shit happen. Like I really do feel like when he had that moment with Luffy, I don't know. Again, I wasn't a huge fan of like how it started and how he was like, come find me later, whatever. But here I feel his power more. Like I feel like, I really do feel like he was a part of Roger's crew now. Like I feel how like, even Somers, I think in the last chapter when he realizes like, oh shit, like Scopper, like, you know, like they have a history and this man is like afraid of this person, sees this person as a threat. Like, I don't know. I felt his presence. I felt Scopper's presence a lot more. I think this was like the moment that really sold the chapters that really sold me on him more than the other ones, for sure. And we see that flashback of like him, you know, taking care of baby Colin. This shit was so funny because, you know, obviously Colin is huge and he's just like standing in Ripley's hand, feeding him. That was a very sweet moment. But yeah, this is what I mean right here, bro. This absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So he has this like future sight moment of Gunko like murdering his son, like stabbing his son through the fucking neck. And I think it's in that moment where he sees like, oh no, like this is future sight. Like this is going to happen. This isn't like me, like imagining like the worst case scenario that could happen to my son if I don't save him. Like these are the events that are like literally about to happen if I don't stop. So, I mean, he literally like something about the weight of this moment, like maybe it was his face, maybe it was just like him like throwing his fucking hands up and saying like, don't do it. Like I yield. Like I really, again, I felt it. I felt it in this moment, like a father, like so genuinely terrified and willing to do anything to like protect their son. Like I think the emotional beat like worked really well there. And he's saying like, I'm sorry, Elbaf. Crazy. Gunko shoots like her arrows through him, like impaling him essentially. And there's also a lot of talk about like death here, which I want to go back to because I think this is going to be a running theme throughout, especially, well, at the end of the chapter where we see like fucking Ray Lee, Scopper like impaled by arrows, but also the fact that like, it seems like Brooke is going to be a focal point. There's a lot of interesting like lines specifically about like death. And I'm trying to find them. Let's see. Cause he says like, I can bring you back or something. And then Gunko says like, you can't bring someone back from the brink or something along those lines. You don't have the right to take any of these things away. A crewmate of the King of the Pirates, you realize that resistance means the death of these hostages. Blah, 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 blah. There's my daddy. He can save us. He's going to save us all. Bro. Because of me, it's not your fault, Ranja. Bro, I don't know where that line is. You're a big boy. Adorable. Please, Colin. Spiral out of control. Hold on. The resemblance is uncanny. This shit was all crazy. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back. I thought I had it. Or I knew where it was, but apparently I don't. What the fuck? Was it when he... Okay, whatever. I'm gonna have to go back and find it. But there were some interesting lines about death. And I just think that it's interesting because obviously none of these motherfuckers are dying. And we're gonna be dealing with Brooke and we're gonna be dealing... And Gunko was specifically like she says, she has a very specific line about like can't like not being able to bring people back, something to that effect. And I will find it, but not right now because I just feel like it's going to just waste too much time. Either way, I just think that that's interesting going into what we're going to at the end of the chapter, which is right as Scopper gets impaled and flies off the edge, Chopper running to save him, obviously. It triggers something in Gunko. Hearing Colin, yell for his dad triggers like a memory. And this is what Beans was talking about in his super chat earlier. But it seems like they do have some kind of control over these people. Like these people were sort of brainwashed, were sort of like taken against their will. In a sense, their memories, their past lives sort of erased. Because this is clearly Brooke. I think I saw maybe people debating about it, but like in the Viz translation, it's yo ho ho. Like the man has an afro, the rapier, like it's 100. Like it can't be. And she was commenting on the Soul King like earlier, like, and maybe again, like that's what's so fucking awesome about it. Like this is 100% Brooke. There's no doubt in my mind that it's not. And it's Brooke when he was a human, obviously, because it's like, it's my dream to be a pirate. So this is when he was alive. This is in the past. And this is, before he fucking died. But why I think it's so good, even if, okay, so she was a fan of the Soul King before these memories were unlocked. And I think what's really beautiful about it is subconsciously, she's still like, even though she didn't know, like she still subconsciously had this like connection, like she was still drawn to Brooke. Yeah. And I love that. I think that's really, really cool. Tiberius said it could be Julius Irving. That's a good point. Come on. Then we get to see the moment where Eam sort of takes over. And I think this is like Usopp saying this, the resemblance is uncanny. Or is it, no. Usopp is saying, think of a way to escape. It's Brooke saying the resemblance is uncanny. And then he says, oh, pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Brooke? And then she's like, are you Brooke? Like, this was what was crazy to me. And maybe I'm like fucking tripping, but like the dialogue here was kind of confusing because they're like, they're nowhere near each other, I don't think, at this moment. And then she's like, Brooke, are you Brooke? Like, doesn't she know that? Like, or do people just know him as the Soul King? Like, they don't know him as Brooke? Anyway, whatever. Somers is still alive. And then we see Great Eam. At this moment, the Holy Land is a sea of fire. We need greater numbers. Allow Mu to show you the dominance of God. So presumably we're going to get to see some fucking Eam shit in the next chapter. How crazy is that, dude? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that gives me chills, bro. And I'm going to pull up a chat. So everybody like fire off, what your thoughts are on that last like moment of dialogue. See, Bishna even says like the, oh, pardon me is interesting. Winston saying Gunko's memories were blocked. Definitely. Gunko's memories were 100% blocked, erased, whatever. But that's why, again, I think it's very sweet that even though they were blocked, like her like being drawn to the Soul King and his music was still like it was like her connection to Brooke. That was it, like leaking through that like blockage or whatever. Like her still being kind of drawn to him, like drawn to his music. Like, I don't know. I think that's really cool. Berto Burt said, Holy Night, Brooke. There are some people that were saying, and I it's hard to remember everything, but there were some people that were saying that Brooke was like a royal guard. Is that correct? That there was a point in his life when he was part of some royal guard. I think I have it up here. Somewhere. Oda about to deliver another crazy flashback. What's going to happen? Brooks subplot was not on my 2025 bingo card. People post goofy stuff too. Someone was saying like, oh, this looks like Nami. Gunko's Nami's mom. I was like, y'all want everybody to be everybody's fucking mom, bro. Let's see. Sea of Flames, Saba the Revolutionaries. Okay, so this is like speculating that the Revs, the Holy Land is currently in a sea of flames. Like the Revs are like wreaking havoc on Marijois. I can't remember like what. Some of these posts are funny, bro. I'm riding on the She Was Yorkie's Child boat now, but goddamn, was not expecting this subplot ever. Brooke gave birth to Eam confirmed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to jump back to the chat, though, and see what everybody else is saying. Oda really hates Zoro. How he giving every Straw Hat multiple backstories and Zoro can barely get one inside the canon manga. Bro, this is what I'm saying. Like, how can you say that when this man, like, hogs the screen time? Like, Oda is obsessed with Zoro. Zoro is just a badass character that he loves showing him do badass things. Like, we don't need it. Father and daughter. Crazy, bro. It's Yorkies? Who the fuck is Yorkie? Yorkie's daughter for sure. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, you think you know One Piece, and then someone brings up fucking Yorkie. Let me see. Huh? Like, what kind of deep fucking teching pull is this, bro? Are they talking about this character here? Hold on. People are talking about this character here? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna have to look up who in the hell this man is. Calico Yorkie was a captain. Oh, he was Brooks' captain. Bro, how the fuck do people know that? How the fuck? Yeah, with the ads. Oh my god, my fucking computer is spazzing right now. Okay, so he was Brooks' captain. Calico Yorkie was the captain of the Rumbar Pirates who brought Laboon to Reverse Mountain. Yorkie was blonde-haired pirate with 2 tattoos on his face, blah, blah, blah. He typically wore a white cowboy hat and James Coat. Okay, what was personality shown to be very... I'm going to tell you why this like cannot be possible for her to be Yorkie's daughter. Yorkie was shown to be very carefree and lighthearted. He was seen teasing his crew and they fought over a trivial matter. He was shown to be selfless captain when he told the crew to leave him, worrying that more of them would catch his disease. Unlike a typical pirate captain, the only prerequisite Yorkie had for being a member of his crew was that you must love music. He stated it was the objective of his crew to make children smile, and with the exception of his illness, he was rarely seen not smiling himself. Like most characters in One Piece, Yorkie had a distinct laugh. Very friendly. Understanding towards Brooke feelings, they both have a mutual friendship. And frequently requested for Brooke to play Bing Sake, Yorkie and the crew's favorite song. Okay, history. Okay, I could be wrong, but why I think it cannot be this man? Because everybody's saying like, oh, Yorkie's daughter for sure. But then why here? Oh, fucking, I swear to God, Viz, like you don't want people using your website. Like you don't. The flashback is, it's my dream to be a pirate. So I think here we're seeing Brook like pre-pirate. We're seeing him before he becomes a pirate, before he joins the Roombar Pirates. So if she's Yorkie's daughter, then like how did he know her before joining? You know what I mean? So that's why I think that this one panel immediately debunks all of that. And tell me if I'm missing something, because it's more likely that I am. Sunjin Sunjin said forgetting Yorkie is wild. You're telling me that you walk around and you just walk around with Yorkie in your mind, like you can pull him out of your back pocket like it's nothing. Lost forgetting about Tom. Okay, I would never forget about Tom. So you cannot forget about Tom. Debunk the most likely candidate. Okay, test challenge accepted. He wanted to make, someone else said check the motto, check the Roombar Pirates about making children smile. Is that it? Bro, I'm telling you guys. Okay, you guys are so funny. You guys are so funny because this is the exact same energy you guys were giving me when I was saying that she knew Brook pre-death in the first place. And you guys were giving me the same energy, like, no, you're tripping, you're tripping. And look what happened. Roombar Pirates, blah, blah, blah. Official English name, Roombar Pirates first appearance. Motto. Crew strength. First ship. Second ship. Biography. The promise during... That's the thing. I mean, I remember all of it. I remember everything. I don't need a fucking refresher on what happened. I just don't remember like their motto. Anyway, can't be this guy's daughter. No, it's just no way. It's just no way. Hold on. Stupid. Tiberius said he dropped One Piece at Dressrosa and he knows who Yorkie was. I call BS. Why do pirates want to make children laugh, bro? Because the captain has a daughter. Okay. Hold on. Okay. What? I'm asking. What do we know? Because I like the general events of like the flashback, the Roombar Pirates, all that, Laboon, all that. Got it. What I like struggle to remember sometimes are like little tiny details. So what was Yorkie's relationship with Brook, like pre them being pirates? Like pre them being on a crew. Was there any line? Was there any dialogue that hinted at them knowing each other before? Because this is pretty damning, dude. I'm telling you, like, why would Oda put like it's Brook, and he's literally saying, first of all, he's saying his fucking catchphrase, yo-ho-ho, it's my dream to be a pirate, you see? So he's saying it before becoming a pirate. And why is the word father the word that brings this memory back? I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it can't be, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying this makes it seem very, 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 very unlikely. The other thing too, let's just pretend for a second that father is the word that unlocks these memories because Brook, and I guess, okay, you know what it is? You guys, hold on, I'm coming around. Anyway, what I was going to say is why I don't think it's necessarily Brook's daughter is because we just did that. We just had a father-daughter Kuma Bani, like whole ass tragic backstory, which was brilliant and beautiful and one of my absolute favorite moments in the entire fucking One Piece saga. But I just don't think Oda is going to be doing that again. right? So soon, like right after. So I think where a lot of people are getting Yorkie from now, and now I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing it is because of the resemblance is uncanny. Because that's Brooke saying that the resemblance is uncanny. Interesting, but it's still. Do we canonically do we know officially what color Gunko's hair is? Like, has it been? Have we seen it in the official colors? Damn. Sun Jinwoo, I think she was a princess of his kingdom personally. I see. I like that. Oh fuck, the I don't know when the screen went out. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Berto Burt, shout out Berto Burt, by the way. I'm so thrown off by the they look alike comment. Who's even saying it? Also, love your channel, bro. Love you, Berto Burt. Thank you, dude. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Tiberius also said, I gotta come clean. I still don't know what the fuck a Yorkie is. I fucking knew it, bro.
Bruh.
I fucking knew it. Yeah. Okay, we're going back here. The resemblance is uncanny. It's definitely, there are 3 people in this panel. It's definitely not Usopp, because Usopp saying, think of a way to escape. It has to be Brooke saying that. The resemblance is uncanny. And then he says, oh, pardon me. Like, to me, it's that line that's more confusing than anything. And then this is like in Gunko's head, right? This next panel right here is in Gunko's head. And she's like, Brooke? And then she starts fucking running. And she's like, Brooke, are you Brooke? Huh?
I don't know.
And then the shing, like an Eam takes over. This is so interesting to me. So interesting. Okay. And the reason why I'm trying to unpack it a little bit more is because I'm also getting ready to put something in the book. And I gotta feel confident before I put it in there. Not yet official. And did Eam drop that the Holy Land is on fire, under attack by the Revs? Yeah, I think it's definitely under attack by the Revs for sure. He's saying that because he hasn't seen her since she was younger, she is all okay. Okay. See, bro, this is why it's fucking crazy. First of all, shout out Bishna. Because it could definitely, I think Bishna's more right. Like, the resemblance is uncanny. Like, he's like, oh, the resemblance is uncanny to that little girl that I remember from like my past. Instead of like, oh, like the resemblance is uncanny, like, and maybe he's thinking of like Yorkie, like he's remembering Yorkie, and he's like the resemblance is uncanny. I mean, I guess it really could work either way. Like, oh, the resemblance to this, like, she either looks like this little girl or she looks like this other person from my past. Again, it was the word father. So, was it Zigzag? Who was it that said? Sun Jinwoo. Sun Jinwoo said, princess of his kingdom. Can we, you know what? Y'all are going to fucking rip me to shreds right now, but I need to know, like, I need to pull up the wiki. I need to know all about, like, Brooks' pre-Straw Hat life. Like, were there, because someone had mentioned on Twitter, again, like, there being something about him being part of, like, a royal guard. Site navigation, Rimbar Pirates. Early One Piece, no. Davy Back fight, no. After time skip, something before time skip, before death. Brooke was a tall, tan, skinny man who had a rather distinctive face. He had a sight, good in his chin, some severance, typically more shape, blah, blah, blah. On his forehead was a scar that slightly resembled a diagonal omega sign. The scar was retaining a skeletal state, his distinctive crack across his skull. Brooks' facial appearance, blah, blah, blah. Commonly associated with varying music artists, Ozzy, Jimi Hendrix. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Personality and relationships. Skull jokes. Love for music. Running gags. Huh. Okay. I just, yeah, I don't know, man. I thought it'd be maybe easier to find that little piece of information, but maybe I'm wrong. Flashback will reveal that Brooks' panty joke has been about Kid Gunko the entire time. Look, Zigzag, I'm not going to fucking lie to you. Because there was a moment where everybody was speculating Gunko's connection to Brooke. Because, and I know with this new information, it makes this shit like super fucking gross. But at the time, nobody knew this shit. When she first appeared, and obviously, even we were like, yeah, it's odd for this like incredibly powerful being to like, for Oda to continue to like dress these characters this way. Like her panties literally like she's literally showing her panties, right? But then there was like, oh, maybe this is also another hint. This is also Oda hinting at like this character's connection to Brooke, because we find out that she's a fan of the Soul King. So people are like, okay, well, maybe if she's just a fan of the Soul King, she's doing this because she knows that the Soul King loves to see panties. So she's fucking dressing, this way, kind of like for him, I guess. However, now, in light of recent events and information, that possibility is extremely disturbing. So, Oda, whatever you're thinking, dude, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Because, yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to go back and like, did Brooke comment? I don't think he did. Did he comment on her panties? I mean, it is a very Brooke thing to do, but anyway, be careful, Oda. Be careful. Mr. Fence said go to the history tab. Okay. History. They already got, they're so fucking fast. I mean, I know the scans came out a while ago. Not much is known of Brooks' past before he joined the Roombar Pirates. So what is known is that Brooke was born 90 years ago and was attending he was born 90 years ago. Interesting. And was attending some form of education in his former years. Some form of education. He went on to become the leader of a battle convoy in a certain kingdom, where he learned his fencing, and many of his attacks received their names. These nicknames of his fencing style were given to him by his previous crew. During this time, Brooke was close to a young Gunko and told her his dreams of one day becoming a pirate. At some point, Brooke learned of the existence of the god knight. Okay. Bro, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, please, guys, talk to me. like maybe I'm fucking tripping. This is also so bold to put on the fandom website because we don't even know if that's Gunko. It says, oh yeah, he was close to a young Gunko. Like, was he though? Because if this was in Brooke's human years, Gunko does not, like, Gunko would be fucking old as shit. And we know, like I said earlier, and that's why I was saying that shit earlier about the God Knights, like, they age normally. We saw Figarland Garling during the fucking God Valley incident, and the man looked like fucking Shamrock. The man looked young as hell. So he's old now. It just like, so okay, what if he's like the resemblance is uncanny because this is like Gunko's mom? So this is like maybe Brooke's like granddaughter? But then I don't know. Hold on. Jumping back to the chat. Anybody can change a wiki page. Yeah, I know. Tiberia said I updated that page actually. Yeah, it's wild to add that. I'm betting the God Knights that weren't celestial dragons already don't follow all the same rules. It's not Brooke. It's Brooke's dad. Break. Oh, they got us again. Gunko being a clone would be a funny reveal that people would be upset about. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, and again, because I gotta like live up to. I got one fucking the smallest thing I got it right, and it was about. But this also could mean I'm wrong. Maybe Gunko doesn't know. Okay. It's starting to come together. You guys are watching an epiphany happen fucking IRL right now. Okay. Check it out. She's like, Brooke? Are you Brooke? Now, okay, what is, okay, the resemblance is uncanny. Father, Brooke, are you Brooke? Okay. That little girl in that flashback is not Gunko. Gunko grew up hearing stories about Brooke. Okay, not fucking the Soul King, but like Brooke. She grew up hearing about Brooke. And so she starts to piece it together. Like, are you Brooke? Like, are you the Brooke that I like grew up like hearing about? I don't think this is like, oh, you're a skeleton and you look different. Like, are you Brooke? That's just my guess. And he's saying the resemblance is uncanny, not to the little girl, but to the little girl, but not because she's the little girl, because the little girl is her mom. Who is her mom? And was this someone that Brooke cared about? Was it like a love interest for Brooke? Oh, interesting. Throwing Brooke into God Valley, but not including him in the previous God Valley flashbacks feels forced. Oda could pull a ridiculous, and make Gunko the youngest looking over 50-year-old I've ever seen. How old is Saturn again? I don't know. We can find out. Yeah, I'm thinking they are like puppets to Eam. I'm pretty sure this is Mr. Fan. I'm pretty sure that girl is Gunko. She was made a God's Knight at some point and made immortal, so she hasn't aged. Okay, but that's my point. In the God Valley flashback, we got to see fucking Figarland Garling. Garling God Valley. And he looked like a young fucking he looked like Shanks. So open image in new tab. Sorry. Okay, whatever. Not the greatest picture in the world. But so this was during the left is during the flashback. The right is obviously when we see him again later, right? In present day, whatever. So they age. He was a god knight in this on the left, and he was a god knight on the right. So they unless this man has been out in the sun for a little too much, even though he's got a fucking moon, maybe because he's like, I need the moon because the sun has done me dirty. He's fucking really raised into this skin. All I'm saying is that like the only ones that don't age are the Gorosei. And someone wanted to ask like how old is Saturn? So let's just see. And like why make that the exception for Gunko? You know what I mean? Like, oh, but like they all age normally, but Gunko doesn't actually. Because what does that have to do with her devil fruit? Arrows and like how does that potentially tie into things as well? How old is Saint J. Garcia Saturn? One Piece. Gotta type his full name, you know. Bonnie could not alter his age. Furthermore, he has lived for more than 200 years and still has the same appearance back then and at God Valley. That's what this is saying. Come on, guys. We got the best fucking minds on the internet all gathered right here in this chat. Wait, Wash is alive. I thought the anti-aging was going to only give it to the elders. Yep. Soham. That's what I'm saying. Yep. World's most sarcastic haircut. Because I still believe in the SPF. I meant to say emu power. Garling wasn't given emu's power. Okay. But okay, see, Mr. Fan, I do think yet he assumingly now he has emu's power since he replaced Saturn, but Gunko has some emu connection we've seen. So what I think that is I think that just like they can be summoned, I think and that was another thing. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you guys something. It's really embarrassing. So me and Megan were wanting to, get back into some One Piece anime reactions. This is so embarrassing. And it has a point, and I'm going to try my best to not forget the point. We wanted to get back into reacting to some of the anime because the Kizaru fight looked crazy. Like we were dodging clips online. The Bonnie stuff is happening. And that's kind of why we like wanted to react to Egghead in the first place, was to like get to see all the Bonnie stuff and Kuma stuff with the music, and just to get to see the direction that they took the animation and like what it all looked like when it came together. So we sat down one day and we were going to just do it one at a time, right? And I don't remember exactly what episode it was, like the number, but we were going to do like one episode at a time, and we were going to catch up. So we sat down and we watched what I thought was the first episode of the Luffy Kizaru fight, like the first episode that really like shows them fighting and that I had seen clips from and crazy animation from. So we watch it all, and there's a bit of fighting in there, but at the end, like Saturn gets summoned to Egghead, and I was like, damn, okay, that was crazy. We have our conversation. Everything. I stopped the recording, and then I realized, oh, fuck. Like, I had the episode sorted from, what was it? From like, I thought it was from like oldest to newest, but it was from newest to oldest, or something. I had them backwards, essentially. So where we wanted to watch the whole Kizaru fight, we actually only watched like the end, like the very, very tail end when like Saturn gets summoned. And so we were both sitting there, and we were just I felt stupid. Like I just felt so stupid. And I was like, well, we can't put this out without reacting to the other two. And we can't react to the other two and pretend like we didn't just fucking see this one. So like, what do we do? It was a whole thing. Anyway, whatever. That was a very defeating day. I bring that up because in that episode when Saturn gets summoned, that fool is fucking like it looks like he's running through like a tunnel, like a dark tunnel. Like he's going, and the way that I was describing it in our post-episode discussion was that like it was almost like he was traveling the physical space from the ship to that like pentagram, that summoning circle, like through like another dimension. Like but Megan was also saying like how curious it looked like he was melting away and then like being rebuilt. But then again, you do see this like spider like running down the hall and shit. Point is, I think that I don't think that Gunko has Eam's power. I just think that he can, like, they are his vessels and he can possess any of them at any time. Like why he chose Gunko, maybe there's a reason there. Maybe he did sense like her, that block or whatever, like slipping. But yeah, it's just interesting how, and we saw like, even the God Knights be pulled into Elbath in like a very similar way. Like they were just kind of pulled there. And I think actually Killingham mentioned something about like another plane or something. Anyway, yeah. My guy is scuttling like a silly little spider. He was like, tick, 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 tick. It was kind of crazy, bro. So my point is saying all that, whatever. It's a long-winded way of saying that I just think that she's been given, like she's just a vessel. Like she hasn't been given Eam's power, but he can use any of them as like his vessel. The abyss, Bishna said, the abyss. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Summers was on the toilet when he it was in his heart underwear. Okay. So to me, definitively, if we're looking at this logically, let me pull out the fucking book. Let me pull out the book. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I gotta get a pen. It's so awesome to be like more free, to be able to be more mobile, to walk around and not have to worry about, dead air. Like you guys are there's no one in the frame right now. Oh yeah, I'm off to the side. Sorry. There's no one in the frame right now. Like who's talking and how is it coming in so crystal clear? I don't know if any of these pens work. This one might. We got to put everything that we know together and we have to come up with another W.
Bro, lost for real.
So here's my theory. Gunko, that silhouette that we saw is not Gunko. It's not. Could it be like Gunko's? But the resemblance is uncanny. Like usually people say that about like parents. Like you look just like your father, you look just like your mother, like you look just like because Brooke has been alive for 90 years. And I really don't, fuck. Because I was going to say, I'm just trying to explore every option. And I'm thinking about sister, and it can't be sister. So it's got to be mother. Could be father. And again, I don't think it's Yorkie. I don't think Yorkie is her dad. I don't even think that's Gunko. And do we know? Okay. The little girl silhouetted at the end of chapter 1149 is not Gunko. It is Gunko's mother. It's Gunko's mom. Because this is like a situation where, like, you know, those stories, like, it's kind of like, it's like not like Peter Pan, like maybe Peter Pan, actually. Or like, you know, remember Rose from the Titanic, when like the whole time she was telling a little story about her and Jack when she was a young girl, and then that's the twist. Like, I imagine the same thing. Like, she was a little girl, her mom was a little girl when she met Brooke, and Brooke was like a really important like person in her life. He played her beautiful music, and music was like, maybe he like gave her mom like a love of music or something. And her mom was someone important, because why else would Gunko be chosen? Oh man, this is I mean, this is what we do. We gotta think it through. Why else would Gunko be chosen? That's why when Sun Jin Woo said princess, I fully believe that like she could have been a princess. Her mom grew up to become a queen, and she told her daughter, her baby, like stories of this like person named Brooke, who like, as far as Gunko is concerned, is like died, you know, or like not died, but would like be an old man, would just be like a geezer. And so the fact that she sees him as a skeleton, she's like, oh, what the fuck? Are you Brooke? Like, are you the guy that like my mom told me stories about? Okay. It is Gunko's mom. So that's what we have there. So I'm going to leave that as its own prediction. And then I'm writing down a second prediction that's going to still be like kind of, you know, in that ballpark. And I'm going to pull up a chat while we're doing it. We are solving everything right now. Lock the doors. Lock the doors. Andrew Dittman said, so they were not Gunko memories she was remembering. Hold on. Let's go back. Because you're right. That could change it. That could change things. Or was that her remembering that? Or was that Brooke remembering that? Like, let's see how that plays out. Kids are walking, daddy, father. Interesting. Okay. Dittman, you might have. Father. And then we see Gunko, what appears to be Gunko flashing back. Wait, what is this memory? Unless, yeah, she's a clone, like Tess was saying. Like, what? What is this memory? Okay, so that the memory is coming from her. That was a good catch. I got a little carried away. You brought me back to earth. What is this memory? Oh my God. Well, it's my dream to be a pirate, you see. Oh, fucking. Oh, it's like fucking Dinkelberg. I'm a Ditman. Oh. Tiberius, I know you're trying to stir the pot, but what if, bro? What if it is Eames? That can't be Eames' memory, Tiberius. But you got me. You got me out of the chair. Because, okay, check it out. Why Tiberius is trying to stir the pot, but why he could accidentally be kind of cracked potentially onto something. Because This is when, okay, well, Eam hadn't fully come in yet. Eam comes in a little bit late. Oh, no. Oh, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. And let's look at the, every time I zoom in, like it freezes and I have to do this all over again. Oh, okay. So yeah, all this happens, then this happens. Okay. But is it like, okay. I don't know, bro. What I am okay. What is this memory? Andrew fucking Dittman, just fucking, you stumped me, because you're absolutely right. I wrote down the little girl silhouetted at the end of chapter 1149 is not Gunko, it's Gunko's mom. But then why would she have that memory? We're talking about her memories being blocked. Let's not get too far away from, like, you know, what's being shown, like possibilities. Yeah, because Eve was a kid when they met Brooke. No, it's gotta be simpler. It's gotta be simpler. I'm just getting too carried away. Her hair getting longer, maybe some possession from Eam. Okay, so Andrew, my rebuttal to that is that her hair has always been that long, I think, right? It's just always been like under her jacket. Because we see here, even in this area, like these are like, or is her hair getting longer? Bro, I don't know. Father. And then she says, what is this memory? Unless, like, I'm fucking cooked, dude. I'm cooked. Yeah, I think it's tucked away. So him said, hey, maybe she's going SSJ3. Didn't to make it not be Brooke, but her dad and Brooke's son. Okay, Tess said, the simplest is Gunko is the only immortal god knight, making her look young. The reason Brooke led the battle convoy could have to do with why Gunko is important to Eam. Okay, Test bringing us back, bringing some logic. During his time, Brooke, I like how I'm trying to fucking decode this shit. Leader of a battle. He was the leader of a battle convoy in a certain kingdom. Okay. And he knows about the God Knights too. What is the significance then of, like, is Gunko like a descendant of somebody? Like Shirahoshi, you know, is an ancient weapon. Like, is it something like to have to do? It has to do with, like, it could, because we're okay, we're getting. I was gonna say, what if we're getting like Saul and Robin, and maybe Brooke is fucking Gunko's Saul? You know what I mean? Like, and that's why it's important. But then why hit the same beat? Like, what am I missing? I'm telling you, this little girl is actually ancient and small. Remember the silhouette meme? She wanted to be a pirate. Bro, okay. I'm really just gonna. Oh, fuck. Okay, I think it has. Okay, I'm gonna say this for sure. Gunko has nothing to do with Yorkie. I'm confident about that. Nothing to do with Yorkie. I'm confident about that. So I have to lock in. I can't sit here and think about this forever. That memory is coming. Are you Brooke? Like she's piecing it together. Right? Holy shit. This is a good one, Oda. You got me with this one. You got me with this one. My theory. Yorkie, King, Prince of Kingdom. Gunko, Daughter Princess. Brooke, Royal Guard. Holy Knights. Delete Kingdom and take Gunko. Brooke and Yorkie think she's dead. They want to make children smile. We have to think of like, what was something else that I was seeing recently about, it was like the people like in wars who would like sing songs. Okay. This is the last thing I'm writing down. So I like part of what Bishna said. I'm going to be done after this. I'm sorry I keep going around in circles. Gunko, and maybe he has to keep her alive for some reason. Gunko was the princess of a kingdom that the world government like erased, and more specifically like AIM, right? Brooke became the leader of the battle convoy to protect said kingdom and Gunko. The resemblance is uncanny. And I think that this is why, like, very simply put, I guess not looking too fucking deep into it, but I think that that's why it's so important to have Gunko's face covered. To make it make more sense as to why Brooke wouldn't recognize her right away. Not only because she has grown, but literally half of her face is covered. And I think even one of her eyes was covered at a certain point too. She was really rocking the Kakashi at a certain point, I think. But yeah. Okay. So I'm locked in there. And that just so we can, be official. I'm gonna read it right now. Wait, why isn't it? Okay. Wait. What the hell? My thing isn't working. Okay, this is gonna be the conclusion of our segment. Heavy is the head that wears the L. That was weird. The little girl silhouetted at the end of chapter 1149 is not Gunko, it's Gunko's mom. Part of me still thinks somehow that could be true. Gunko, I'm trying not to, I don't think Oda would redo Beats, right? So like, could he be the daughter, or could she be the daughter of somebody that he knew? I think that's more likely than. But she's saying father, so like father does have to be important to the story, which is why I think people are going Yorkie. But I don't know. Gunko has nothing to do with Yorkie. That's the other one. And then Gunko was a princess of a kingdom that the world government erased. Brooke became the leader of a battle convoy to protect said kingdom and Gunko. And maybe it had something to do with like children smile. Like Brooke's letting on more than he knows. Anyway, that's gonna do it. That thus concludes the segment Heavy as the Head. This is the Book of Elves. It's going back. Thank you for humoring me during all that. I dropped the pen. I don't know, man. Point is, I'm excited to get some Brooke lore. I'm excited to get the answer to, or answers to these mysteries. I got to put WD-40 on these chairs too. They're real squeaky and they have been for a long time. I mean, to me, that's part of the fun. Like I really do enjoy doing that. I really do enjoy like picking something apart, looking at all the clues, trying to piece it together. I'm wrong most of the time. That's kind of the joke. That's why it's the Book of Elves, because not just because I get things wrong all the time. Absolutely, that is a 100% part of it. But also because it takes the pressure off of it. I feel like sometimes, like especially in the One Piece community, there's this like, I don't know, maybe it's just I put it on myself, the pressure on myself to like come up with some super cracked fucking, theory that no one else has come up with. And I just like, I don't know. I don't have the mind. I don't have the mind for that necessarily. I don't have the knowledge to do that necessarily. So the Book of Elves is just like a way to have more fun with it. And sometimes maybe still get things right. Like the last stream. It just reminds me of like all this stuff that I've been seeing online. Like there are a lot of people who are putting more like merit into the idea, the whole like knot theory. I remember Hidden sharing that with us. Like, I think it might've been on the Reverie stream that we did, but even like that theory and it kind of even being like connected to like the One Piece logo, like just seeing like all these like super, super cracked theories start to like gain more traction and for them to become like more and more likely. Like, I don't know, that's really cool to see. There was this like interesting story, like it's an aside and I'm not going to know all the details, like the name of the streamer, but apparently there was this like Japanese streamer who was very popular or, well known for their One Piece theories that stopped streaming. And there was this giant misconception about like why they stopped streaming. Apparently a lot of people were saying it was because of Oda saying in an interview that he didn't like people picking apart his story and like ruining his story. But then that came out to not be true. But by that point, everybody had already had these like crazy reactions to it. And yeah, it was goofy. Anyway, probably going to kick it for a little while longer. Again, thank you guys for humoring me. I know it was an all over the place kind of stream today, especially since Megan's not here. It does hit a little different. Everyone was wrong like 99% of the time. It's the process that's fun. Absolutely, Bishna. I mean, I think that me and you are right there with that. Because that's the fun part to me. It's like all the possibilities and the what ifs, like every show. I mean, that was like genuinely, that was so fun to me when Westworld was first coming out before it got bad. And I was in the subreddits, like lurking, bro, like listening to everybody's theory about what was actually happening. And then someone getting it right. It was so cool. Even Severance has like kind of like reignited that for me, where I was like online, like really looking to see like what everybody's theories were about it and like piecing it together. It's like it's a fun mystery that we're all solving together, and everybody adds like things for other people to build on, and eventually someone might crack it. Even From is another show that I encourage everybody to watch if you like horror or even just like suspense Such a good show with one of the guys from Lost, by the producers of Lost, but not. It's not going to be as unsatisfying as Lost. But yeah, I love the community aspect of like trying to solve these mysteries. Soham said, let me scroll up. Leaving Elbaf without any Usopp development will be hilarious. Soham, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I think that would be hilarious. Like, because I genuinely, like, all jokes aside, I completely understand why. And I believe that Usopp is going to get, and he's kind of had a few things here and there, like, and he might get like a moment, like towards the end of the arc, like however the final battle progresses, like he might get a moment where he steps up, where the giants acknowledge him as like a great warrior. Like he might get a moment, but he's not going to change. Like he's not going to not be Usopp. He's not going to like all of a sudden be this incredibly badass, like capable fighter with power-ups. Like, maybe whatever Chopper, which is a crazy sentence, whatever Chopper's going to learn about this kind of hockey is going to be shared with all the Straw Hats, and he'll maybe be able to tap, into that a bit more, with his like future sight and stuff like that, or observation rather. But like, yeah. So I get it, like thematically, because of Little Garden and just because of his dream and because of everything leading up to this moment, like why, like, again, he will get something, but it's just like, yeah. It was goofy to me then, and it's goofy to me now that people thought this was going to be an Usopp training arc. The moment we got there, it was Legoland. It was like, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, Luffy, like. And now it's like literally, and I'm not just saying this, it feels like everybody else has had like a really cool moment except Usopp. Usopp had like maybe like a cool moment, but like everybody else has had like a really cool moment at this point. And maybe because Oda's saving Usopp. I don't know. Soham said that it was Uteron, had some of the wildest theories. Said O'Hara did a video about it. Ooh, Josh, talking like Megan ain't coming back. Losh, no, she's definitely coming back. I'm being a hater. There's a little bit. There's a like. Okay, you know what it is? It's not that I'm being a hater. It's just, and me and Megan talk about it all the time. And I think I've said it on the stream before too, but like, there are things that are funny to me that I think are just funny to like people who are like older siblings, because and maybe it's because maybe like my dad would do this to me growing up. And so now I think it's funny when it happens to other people, but like, I don't like, how did I explain it before? Because Megan gets frustrated at me sometimes because like I'll always pretend that like I locked my keys in my car and I'll like really play it up, or like I just like to see people stressed out. Like seeing people get like worked up and seeing people get like stressed out, like it's funny to me. And I know that that's not like a great quality to have, but so I think like when people get really worked up about like the Usopp stuff, or whenever people take things like really, really seriously, it's just like, it's like maybe a bit of hater energy, like a dash of hater energy in there, but it's really mostly just like that. I think it's funny, like seeing people get worked up, because it's not like people, like, it's not like they're doing anything like super damaging. It's not like people getting worked up in that way. It's like they're getting worked up in like I don't know, in like a silly way. Maybe this is making no sense, but it's a sign of love. It's a sign of love. But what was Usopp goal was leading to this arc. He has to have something. I mean, I do think he's going to have something, like I said. But who was it? And I'm gonna search for it. Brooke stole his shine. Now 51% sure that it's a Brooke arc, not an Usopp arc. It's Usopp's memories. Winston said, and Guido said, just came, what happened to Meg? Megan's just not feeling well today. She, needed to take a day off. She's been going ham. She's been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes and just wasn't feeling great today. She will be back ASAP. Definitely we're probably going to try to do another community live, but if for some reason we're not able to do that, then she'll be back next week because Tadam is happening and we're definitely getting Chopper. So we have to do something for that. Real quick, because I know this is not a Doctor Who stream, but Winston asked, and Winston is an amazing person, an amazing member of this community, and it would be rude to not answer his question, okay? And Winston asked thoughts on season 2 of Doctor Who, and I'll do it in 2 minutes. It's 2:18, and it just turned 2:18 right now, so at 2:20, I will stop. 2 minutes. I think it's better than the first season. I think Shudi's really come into his Doctor, the persona of the Doctor. He's had a lot more standout moments, a lot more quotable lines this season. The concepts are equally as cool. There were some really cool concepts in season 1, 78 yards, Dot and Bubble being some of my favorites. But here we get a sequel to Midnight, a classic Who episode. But I think Russell's in his bag. I think that it's a bit darker. I like Belinda Chandra more than I like Ruby Sunday as a companion. I think the lead up to the finale is going to be good too. I'm a little skeptical. I'm a little worried, as are a lot of people, that the season finale itself is going to kind of end up like the season finale of the first season, where we're getting a lot of nods to classic Who, but not enough time to tie everything up together nicely. There is a lot, but I do like the Conrad, the Miss Flood reveal, all of it kind of coming together, seeming to give us more Gallifrey Doctor lore, introducing more Time Lords and all of that into the show. I think so far this season has been absolutely incredible, but it's really going to depend on whether or not the landing is stuck, because it was not stuck in the first season. The standalone episodes in the first season with Shooty were great, but it just didn't stick the landing. So if this season manages to do that, then it'll be far superior and will probably be one of my favorites in a long time. I'm done early. That was it. It's not even 2:20 yet. Okay. Tadam. Eyes glaze over, stares off into the distance. That's because I can't look at the chat. I have the chat. Sometimes I minimize it because Tiberius, fucking, who else? I mean, really, Tiberius. Everybody knows the right thing to say to get into my head to derail me. So I can't look. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because I'll be fucking I'll be in the fucking my pocket, the bag, whatever, talking about Doctor Who, and then Tiberius will say fucking Doctor Who balls or something like that, and then I'll lose everything, Doctor Who has always seemed like a made up show to me. What do you mean the Blorks have the hyper ranks? Dude, that's funny as fuck. That's funny as fuck. Yeah, I get it. It's funny because I was even watching the penultimate episode, the part 1 of the season finale, whatever. And there's a moment where bro, they're in this alternate reality called Wish World, and they had to go back in time to get the 7th son of a 7th son who is the god of dreams and the god of wishes. And they created this alternate, sort of misogynistic classic American society. And they needed to do that so that they could break the universe and find out what's underneath the universe, so they could find someone who has been lost within time and space. And I'm watching it and I'm like, bro, this shit is fucking the goofiest shit ever, but in the best, most fun way. There's nothing like it. Tiberius said, damn, I come here for One Piece conversation and this is how I'm treated. It's all love, Tiberius, but you know what you do. It's all fucking love, but you know what you do. These streams, this community would not be the same without you. We need you here. Every community needs a Tiberius, but no one has the real Tiberius except for this fucking community. But you know what you do. Okay? I'll be on a fucking a hot streak, if you will. And then I'll see Badussi. Oda was in his Badussi with that one. And then my whole fucking train of thought is lost. Gone. What if Brook was tasked with guarding Gunko but failed? If so, Brook's backstory going to be more sad. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. It could have been his job to protect her. I would like that. It has to feel different enough from like Kuma and Bonnie. But we'll see. It's going to be fucking great. My emu theory being right will be the downfall of P1. You know who Sonic Screwdriver is so cool? I know. I want that Sonic Screwdriver, the syringe Sonic Screwdriver. I want it. I didn't even know that they made like a pink one. But they did. Because Shooties is always changing colors in the show. Anyway, that's probably going to do it. Coming up on 2 hours. Great stream, dude. I know the energy's a little different when Megan's not here, but I hope it was still, fun. I had a good time. I had a blast. And what do we have coming? Megan's going to jump into editing Stampede for YouTube tomorrow. We're going to be recording another Stampede reaction tomorrow, and I think that's going to be episodes 7 and 8. If you haven't been following that, it's only available to Patreon and YouTube members as of right now. But sorry, the mic is like weighing down the shirt. It's been such an awesome ride, such an awesome journey. Like, we've both been really loving it, enjoying it. We switched some things up in the reaction with like the format of how we record them. We're not like in that like overlay anymore. It's just kind of like a wide shot of us with the screen in the middle. And we're gonna try to do some experimenting with like how we put it out on YouTube. I don't know that, like, I know reaction kind of content is not everybody's like favorite. Like, some people love it, some people hate it. I guess it's very like divisive, but like, if you do enjoy watching, whether it's like our One Piece reactions or if you have seen any of our Trigun reactions, I guess like what my question to anybody who watches those kinds of videos, like especially like the videos that we put out reaction wise, does the obscuring of the video, like, I guess, would you prefer us either like zooming in and zooming out, or like blurring the video every couple of seconds, or just like putting the same overlay on it and like kind of like lowering the opacity? Because I don't know, I was just watching other like people who react to other shows and stuff, and it seems like there are a lot of people, and I always kind of go back to Sort of Stupid with Ruff and those guys, because we like had a relationship with them at a certain point, and they're just, really cool dudes, and they've been cranking out stuff. They've been doing insane work. Like, they're just absolutely killing it. But they just have a method where it seems like they're able to show kind of everything and not have to blur anything, not have to obscure anything, because they like, it'll drop every like 15 seconds or something like that. Like, they'll take the image or the video off the screen like every 15 seconds or so, whether that's like them zooming in or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to be going back and forth on that. Like, should we do it like we've always done it? Should we try punching in more so we can like obscure the video less? If you're watching those reactions on Volume 1 Plus, like we would genuinely love to know your thoughts, because sometimes, like, I don't know, it's only us. And I've even talked to my brother about it, who watches a lot of reaction content, and he was the person who told me, like, for him personally, he's like, I'd rather be able to like see, what did he say? Like hear something, hearing something is more important than seeing something. Not that he doesn't want to see anything, but like he was expressing that like he feels like sometimes reactors don't turn it up enough, and he would rather be able to hear it than like see it. I don't know. Just curious. But yeah. Tess said, I think Tekking has a sonic screwdriver. I know he's a Doctor Who fan. I still got to talk to him about that. His favorite Doctor is Josh's first Doctor. Don't remember the guy's name. He was either the one before Tennant or after Tennant. After Tennant is Matt Smith. He might be an Eccleston fan, though. I don't know. It was fun until I got viciously attacked. I feel like someone punched me through my torso with magma. The ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, my favorite David Tennant, followed by Paul McGann. Paul McGann's cool. I think my favorite's David, though. It used to be Matt, but I think like as I've gotten older and been like watching more of it, like again, as you know, an older person, or maybe it's just like where I'm at in my life. Like I genuinely don't think it has anything to do with age, but like I was a different person then than I am now, and I still love Matt, and it's so fucking close, like so fucking close. But I think I appreciate David a little bit more than Matt now. But yeah. Anyway, rambling at the end. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the absolute best. The only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes, which today, since Megan's not here, I'm going to heavily lean on you, is... and while we wait for that to come in, I want to shout out Buck's Basement. Are you guys excited for Tadum this coming Saturday? Absolutely, bro. Okay, I'm actually going to check my work schedule. IRL. Right now, we're going to get to the bottom of when I work, and I probably do work on Saturday, but we'll see. Elizabeth, thanks for the stream, and until next time, bye-bye. Elizabeth, shout out. Thank you for being here. The 31st, I do have to work, but it's a like a closing shift, but I have Sunday off. Okay, so we'll probably stream Sunday. What the fuck is a Yorkie? I like that. That's good, Tiberius. That's good. Moses saying, hey, Josh, it's been a while since I've come to the channel. Love you guys and congrats on all the success. Moses, shout out, dude. Long time no see. Appreciate you. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Tessa, for the reaction question, you could just make a community poll for Volume 1 Plus. I think Megan said she was going to, or we were thinking about that. But I just figured since we were live, if anybody had any thoughts. Who's your daddy and what does he do? I do like that too. I'm fucking lit, guys. There's so much good shit happening. Like, to go back to Buck's Basement's thing, we're getting the trailer, which means we're getting Chopper. So like, I'm fucking living for that. I'm living for like a lot of stuff right now. There's a lot of really cool shit happening. Like, all my interests are like kind of, because it'll be the Doctor Who season finale. It'll be Tadum. I'm going to be, hopefully getting my fucking Critical Role Daggerheart core set around that time too. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everything, when you like a lot of things and they all kind of fall around the same time, it's like you're going to be eating fucking good. So, like I was saying this at the beginning of the stream too, but Megan's terrified of Chopper, or terrified of like seeing Chopper. Even if they execute Chopper well, it's just like a scary, thing to her just to see him live action. So excited most excited for the V1 5-year anniversary. Yes. Berto Bert, hope I didn't over super chat Josh much love. I don't think so. Over super chat? What? Oh, fuck. Okay, I remember the first one. I don't think I read the second one. Oh, fuck. Berto Bert, my bad. I feel terrible. Okay, shout out Berto Bert. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I'm so sorry that I missed these. Who knows what fucking what I was rambling about at that point. That's my bad. That's on me. Seeing Somers talk after Scoppers below reminded me of Law's a surgeon fruit, not gonna lie, like Kinemon and Punk Hazard. Yeah, dude. See. Oh, you know what? That's also such an interesting thing that I don't think ever really got fully like expanded on. And I think yeah, dude, I don't know. Like there has to be some connection, I feel like, in some kind of way. Slight derail again from Berto Bert. Rock's voice in today's episode didn't disappoint. Should we go back and watch those episodes? Because I want to know what Rock's voice sounded like. And I've been dodging clips because I did want us, and we both wanted to react to it. But maybe we should just watch it. I don't know. But shout out Berto Bert. So sorry I didn't see those. I was fucking yapping about something, dude. Beautiful Life said, oh no, I missed the stream. Josh, can you repeat what you said? Yeah, I'll just take it from the very, very top. Very, very top. Let's make it double the length so Beautiful Life can catch up. Okay. I like what Tiberius and Mr. Fan said. But I think what the fuck is a Yorkie is just like, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, sort of encapsulates everything. So we'll do that. Genuinely, thank you guys. Sorry, I fucked up my screen. Genuinely, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate, all of you guys for giving us, I say it all the time, giving us this space and letting us talk about this stuff and letting us theorize and just like go off the rails and not really make a whole lot of sense most of the time. It feels, it's a really awesome feeling to get to come to this community and talk about One Piece the way that we talk about One Piece. Like even hearing throughout when we're talking about Somers and his wrinkly skin and everybody's kind of just like piling. Like it always felt to me that like to talk about things on the internet sometimes like you have to have like every bit of knowledge about every single character and thing that's ever happened, and that sometimes I've even felt like it was like people didn't enjoy like making fun or like joking around about certain things. And that's why like this community just feels perfect. Like, because we're talking about the story, we're theorizing, like I am like out there, but I'm giving it my best shot, but we are being silly. We are joking around. We are having fun. It's just like, I genuinely appreciate you guys. I genuinely appreciate like this community, your company, you being here to talk about these chapters with us, to talk about, anime and manga in general with us. Like from the bottom of my fucking heart, I appreciate all of you. And except for Tiberius, I'm just kidding. I even especially Tiberius, because we're taking his outro today. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, for clicking on this video, for hanging out with us. And until next time, the fuck is a Yorkie? Yorkie. That's what I'm saying. People acting like they know Yorkie. They just have that in their back pocket. Like, I'm sorry, but like if you were at a bar, they were doing One Piece trivia, and they asked you who Brooks' captain was, like how many people would have got that right? You know what I mean? That's what I'm wondering.